you have a tub that needs to be installed? Stay tuned, because in this video we're going to be showing you how to install a tub. Let's get into this. Hey everyone, welcome to the channel. I'm Clayton from the Plumbing Gurus. Thanks for joining us today. On this channel, we're trying to save you money and keep you informed on all the proper plumbing practices. Let's get into this video. Alright, so there's a couple things I want to talk to you about before we go ahead and set this tub into place. The first thing is you want to make sure that your rough opening for the tub, if you have a 60-inch tub, in this case we have a 60 by 32-inch tub that we're installing. So we want to make sure that your width is at minimum 60 1/4. 60 1/2 is ideal. It gives you a little bit of wiggle room so you can actually squeeze the tub in there. And a lot of the times the walls aren't square, so it's just easier to get the tub in. Okay, so next thing you want to do is, if in this case I already cut this out here, but this piece ran right across to here. So when you're setting the tub into place, sometimes this here will hit the 2x4 on the other side, and it will prevent you from getting that tub in, installing it alone. In this case, I'm going to show you how to drop this tub in on your own. Super easy. Okay, so the last thing I want to talk to you guys about before we go ahead and set this tub down is you want to make sure that you have these legs on the back, that you shim them. In this case, these come with a little legs that you can adjust. So you can set the tub in place, you can level it, and then you can adjust these back legs here to support the back of the tub. You want to make sure that you have support on the back of the tub, that the screws on the back of the tub that's holding the screw on the back of the tub is not holding all the weight of the tub. And make sure you got something to support the tub into place. So when you got a big guy like me walking in there, things not cracking and moving around. All right, so we got all those covered. Let's get in and let's slide this tub in place. So what I like to do, it's easier with two people, but if you're on your own, don't be afraid, you can do it. Takes a little bit of practice, but once you got it, it's really easy. And I've done a lot of these tubs on my own.
You got this, Clayton.
So what you want to do is you want to take the opposite side of the drain, is up, slide this towards this wall here, nice and tight in that corner, and then from here, and you want to be gentle on the corners. We'll just from there, drop the tub in. And then from this side, pull it right tight to that corner, right there. And then on this corner, this is where I cut that piece of wood out. If I didn't have it, it would be hitting this stud. So now all I have to do now is level the tub as best as I can. Put your hand in a spot where it's not going to get pinched in the 2x4s. Lift the tub up. Lean the tub against your knees. And just set it down nice and gently, just like that.
Smooth operation.
All right, so what we have here is we're installing the tub in the basement. We're in Canada, so our walls have to be insulated and polyed. So as you can see, we just have a little bit of poly there at the bottom of the tub. We just brought it up there because the contractor doesn't have any insulation here. So at least now he's able just to shove that insulation behind there and create a proper insulated and vapor barrier wall behind the tub. All right, so the next thing you want to do is you want to level the tub. You want to have two levels. I like to use a 4-foot level and I like to use a 2-foot level. In case this is a finished product, so you want to be very careful not to ding it, because that's just an extra cost. It's going to cost you to get it fixed. So what you want to do is you want to take your 4-foot level, you want to slide your 4-foot level right on the back here, just like that. And you put your 2-foot level on the side here, just like that. And another thing you want to do when you're leveling here is you want to just check all the corners. So you can see how nice and tight each corner is on the 2x4s. That's kind of how you want it there, and you want it nice and level, just like that. Sitting on its own, we are looking good. All right, so we're gonna screw the tub into place now. So I know I've got the tub, everything's all level. Now you can pre-drill all your holes where all your studs are. Just put your screws in if you need to. In my case, I don't need to. I use a screw, not sure what you'd call this one, but it's just like, it almost starts it as a drill bit. And I've never had an issue with the tub cracking with screwing these in. When I did start plumbing though, I did pre-drill all the holes and then just punch your screws in through the pre-drilled holes. In this case, I don't need to, and I'll show you how easy it is to do it without drilling them. So get your drill, push it against the tub. What I like to do is I like to hold the screw while I'm pushing, like for somebody that's a beginner or new to this, you want to make sure that you hold the drill or the drill bit a little bit and the screw just gently, so that, and apply a little bit of pressure, and just see how easy that went in through the tub. So you don't necessarily have to pre-drill it. And then I'll just suck it in just like this, just a little bit. You don't want to put too much pressure on this flange. A lot of the times the wood's not perfectly level, but all that gets hidden with drywall and tile. You'll never notice that when it comes to finish. So I'll go ahead and I'll get this tub drilled in, screwed in. All right, so now that we've got the tub set in place, it's level, it's screwed in, it's supported properly. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to connect the overflow, the waste and overflow they call it, or a Watco. So there's a couple things you're going to need to do this portion. You're going to need a chunk of ABS, probably 30 inches should be enough. Paper towel, you don't need it, but I like to have it because when you're doing the silicone, it's easier just to clean up. Something to cut the pipe with. I like to use these rigid here, these rigid cutters. You can check it out, the link in the description below. Little tape measures. You'll need a glue pot for whatever glue you're using. In this case, we have ABS glue. You'll need a level as well. The OSB kit that has everything that you need to do to connect the waste and overflow. And optional if you need, it is a little dark sometimes underneath the tub, so I like to have a little small flashlight. Alright, so we're going to go through with you on the Watco and what everything is and what it all does. This is the top clicker part, so we don't need this right now, so I'll just put that in the tub. This is the discussion plate for the overflow. We don't need that right now either, so we'll just put that in the tub. Here is it's a gasket for the overflow. This part of the Watco is where there's overflow screws, and this is inside of the tub. This here is the 90 that goes underneath the tub. Oh, sorry, this one here, yeah, goes underneath the tub. You can see it's got the same threads as the finished part that sits inside of the tub. So you know that screws onto there like that. Like that, perfect. And when I do this, I'll always put the finish like upwards. I won't put this down like that so we don't scratch any of it. And this part here is the gasket that will sit underneath the tub. That's what sits underneath the tub, and then this part screws in on top. And this is the part that sits on the back. You can tell it's a little bigger. A lot of these are different, but you want to make sure that you're familiar with the parts before you go ahead and just put it together. So you know that this part is the top of the overflow, screws in, and that's what connects it from the top of the tub. Alright, cut back in. So now what we'll do, in this case, it has a little sticky part that you could just pull off, and you can stick this on the overflow, just like this here. Now what I like to do, there's a bunch of different ways you can do this. And I almost do it differently every time, just to make it interesting for myself. But I'll kind of show you the easiest way to do this. So first what you want to do is put this part in like this inside of the tub. You slide this part over top, tighten it on, and just get it just snug, just like that. And we'll just aim it straight down. Wipe this every once in a while. So glue that nicely. I use my paper towel to wipe my joint because I'll be in and out touching the tub. Don't want to get glue in the tub. There is goof off, takes it off really easy, but it's just another thing you just don't want to have to deal with. So we'll glue these together. And when you glue this, if you don't watch that other video, you just put enough glue just so it is past the fitting allowance. So from here, and you want to do a little turn as well. But like I said, that other video is has a very good, will explain to you very well on how it's all done. So when I put these together, I make this the same this part of the T is the same as this part of the 90 that goes into the tub. And if you look at that, it's exactly the same. Okay? Wipe my joint. Just looks really professional when everything's nice and neat. From this point here, I know everything's all good to go. I will glue the coupling that is here. And we'll glue this part here, like that. And then we'll slide this rubber piece on, like that. It's a lot easier to do this than to slide it on when this piece is glued underneath the tub. Sometimes it's a little tricky just finding the way. We'll push that in, and we'll come in the tub, and we'll spin it. Okay, so now I'll just get my tub tool. I'll put that piece back in on top. All right, so here we have a rolling offset that we have to do. So the this is a little tricky, and I'll show you guys how to do it, hopefully the easiest way. And this is all going to go in one take. I'm not going to redo anything here. So hopefully I can do this right. So what I'll do is, this part of the tub, sometimes it angles down, and you want to be very aware of that when you're doing this. So you can stick a level on here, and it's pretty close to level. So I wouldn't worry too much about using this fitting. Sometimes they'll supply you, it's about 11.5 degrees or something like that. And what it does is, if the tub is angled back this way, you'll slide this guy on here, and it'll just straighten this piece, so this piece is coming straight down. In this case, it's actually way too much, so I don't necessarily need to. You can actually put your level right on here too. You can see it's only out just a little bit, so I wouldn't even bother with that. So now what we'll do for starting the rolling offset is, I know that I have to put a piece in between here and here, so I'll just come up maybe about that distance there. Doesn't have to be exact, but if you want to get a measurement of it, you can. So we know that's roughly, roughly 5 inches or so. So we'll do a 5-inch piece. Cut that nicely, just like that. Sweet. Nice little glue joint here. Push it in, turn it, clean it. Sure you guys all know how to do this by now. So now what I'll do is I'll just dry fit this piece in just like this. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out the distance from here to center of here. And this is going to be a rolling offset, because this distance from here to here are different. So now this is actually going to have to roll this way into it. Now, what I do to do something like this is I just eye it all out, because I'm just that good. But what you can do is you can just get a small piece just like this, and if you look at it straight from this angle to this where it needs to go, and if you turn it just like that, and it's dead straight of the pipe to this fitting here, you know that's exactly where your rolling offset needs to be. Then I'll take this piece out, and you can even put a piece on the bottom to kind of gauge where you need to put this fitting if you need to, but I don't need to do that. So what you want to do is you want to just line it up from here to here, and what I do is I'll grab it like this, and I'll hold it, and I'll use this finger kind of as a guide. So kind of I'll feel it from there, and I'll keep that just like that. So all I got to do is push this fitting against the tub here, and it's going to be really close to the same distance. So I'll start from here. I'll turn this so that I know it's got to be this angle. I'll come here, I'll push it against the tub, use my finger as a guide. I'll slide this down, straight down from here. And now the easiest way to do it is the top of here has to line up with the top of here. And it's really easy to do, because when you got your tape measure flat against this part of the fitting, And if you just drop it down, and as soon as it goes flat against this fitting, you know that's where your angles needs to be. So I do a quick little measurement here. 2 5/8 is my offset piece. So I'll get a piece that's 2 5/8. Let's see here. 2 5/8. There's a lot of different ways you can do this. You could measure it. You could put pieces, small pieces in between. But just over the years, you kind of have to envision the pipe a little bit being where it is, where it's not, kind of thing. Like there's a piece of pipe already here when you're doing that. But once you do it, you'll see what I mean. It's not that hard. So I'll glue this together. Clean it off nicely. I'll dry fit this piece in. I'll push it in all the way, and I'll take a quick look. It's perfect. So now, what I'll do is I'll take that out. I'll take these out here, and I'll glue these together. Now with plumbing, you want everything to line up. You want everything to be plumb. So, what you'll do is in the center of the fitting, there's a little line you can see, and there's a line here on this fitting. What I'll do is I'll line it up straight, I'll eye it out, and I know that this line from this fitting here is in line with this fitting here. So I know that these fittings are lined up now. Okay? I'll just dry fit this in here, do a quick double check. You can kind of see, looks perfect. So I'll pull this out, I'll glue this piece in. Actually, let me think here. It'd probably be easier if I didn't glue it. So I'll just dry fit this in, push it in all the way, turn it to where it needs to be. Grab a tape measure and I'll grab my measurement. So you can go face to face, add 1.5 inches. I like to just allow for my fitting allowance. So I know it's going to be about 4 3/4. And everybody does this differently. We all have our own little, Carson would do it a lot different than I would do it. We all have our kind of own ways that we kind of fine tune on what we like to do. So now I'll take this piece out. I'll glue this piece onto here, make sure that's my right piece. Glue this piece onto here, like this. Glue that on. Clean it up nicely. Done. So from here, you can either glue it onto here, or you could dry fit it, spin it in place, come around the other side. Stop. Dry fit it, come around the other side. Oh. You dry fit it, come around the other side. And you can see that when I have it in, push it in, it is pretty much perfect. It's a little low, but you have a lot of play here. It could be a little higher. Something like that would be ideal. But it is pushed in all the way. That's perfect. Let's glue her in and let's have at her. So now we'll pull it apart. So this part here, we'll just glue this in. We'll glue this part in here, and you want to be a little quick on this one. So you'll push this in, you'll get this to sort of where it needs to go. You'll slide this in here, glue this in like this, slide this in like this, and then you'll push it in place. And if you have to turn it a little bit to get it so that it's nice and flat on there, just like that, perfect. And then from here, what you can do if you want, you can run a little bead of silicone on the front here. I'll show you if you want to do that. If you want to get a nice seal, just run a really thin bead right across there if you want to. This is optional. You don't have to, but I'll just show you if you want to do it. And then this piece here, we'll just slide that in on the other side of the tub. Sometimes it's a little tricky because there's so much foam there. I'll just take my gloves off here for this one. I think you can use a tub tool on this one. Nope, you got to use either channel locks. Just like that. So we just need a set of channel locks, or you could use these. Just tighten it right in, just like that. Now that we've got this tightened here, just like that. You can move it around if you like. You can double check all your glue joints, everything looks all good. Give them a quick little wipe. And then inside the tub here, this is where I put this finish trim. We'll just slide this in over top inside the tub here, and that's it. There you go. Alright guys, thanks a lot for watching. I hope you guys appreciate it. I hope you got some value out of this one. If you got any questions or comments, don't forget comment question below. Also smash that subscribe button if you haven't already. And thanks for watching guys. Don't forget, hit the thumbs up. See you guys on the next one. Take care.